Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Just Enough Heshy Show. My co-host tonight, when they do show up, or I don't know when, will be my beautiful Esty. I'm hoping, because she did have a neck problem, and her neck did hurt her yesterday, and we took her home, and she was in pain. But Esty, feel good. And my buddy, my co-host, and my voice of reason tonight. Again, when he shows up, he should be strolling right in any minute. I ordered you a pie pizza, Neil. So get over here, Neil, my voice of reason. Come on to the show. Anyways, I hear he's coming from the background. Our show tonight, we are going off the air on our last show will be September 8th when season 1 ends. My buddy Neil, my voice of reason, has shown up. You see, once I said that I'm getting pizza, he walks right into the door. Hello, Neil. So anyways, our last show is September the 8th. It will be season 1 ending. I think we're going to be somewhere around the 70 show mark. We're going to celebrate when we hit 100 shows, I guess. And then we, of course, we have my voice. What?
I'm telling him, put it on Heshy.
Right. Put it on all of it. I don't know why he's playing with it at all, the camera. Anyways, September.
Esty's not coming in?
She's coming. She wasn't feeling well, but she told me she's running late.
Oh, you hear me?
I hear you.
Okay, now I hear you.
Anyways, what was I telling you? Who cares what I was telling you? September 8th, and we're going to start back up on October the 12th. You can reach us you can see our show and hear our show on YouTube by just typing in Just Enough Heshy, and you'll see all of our shows and pick one of them. You can get us on Twitter, my famous quotes, and so on.
Bored enough. Yeah, right. You can go on YouTube and look us up.
I know. And then, of course, you have the Just Enough Heshy Facebook page. You can just type in Just Enough Heshy. Again, we pop up. You see my quotes, my trivia questions, and a whole bunch of other comments that people make. And, of course, you can call into our show tonight. We have a special guest that's going to be calling in that's going to be talking about a very serious subject. Again, lately we've been very serious. You can call our show at 718-3...
It's before the high holy holiday.
Right.
We're supposed to get serious.
Yeah, we are serious. 718... Wait till you hear my joke. You're going to freak out. 718-303-9090. 718-303-9090. Of course, you can ask me any question. You can email questions to the Just Enough Heshy Show at justenoughheshy@gmail.com. Our show is being sponsored tonight by Mr. Clean Delivers. He has pickup and drop-offs. 25% off if you mention the Just Enough Heshy Show. Call him at 347-369-3051. 347-369-3051. Or the Black Label Electric Cigarette, which I'm going out to dinner tomorrow night with him. It's my 25th anniversary, which I'm going to make a joke about that as well. So I'm going to be taking my wife out to Muncie, and we're going to have a nice dinner someplace that he set us up there. And we're going to go out to dinner there. It's going to cost me a fortune.
You have to go to Muncie.
Muncie has this great restaurant on top of the world, and he's going to show me a place where I can open up my club cover. But we'll talk about that.
No. That's in Brooklyn.
It's Brooklyn. Well, the club is going to be in Brooklyn. Yeah. I got that. But he wants to show me an idea. But I'm going out to dinner, and it's going to cost me a lot of money. And Linda, I hope you appreciate it, which you do. I know you do. I know you love me. 7-1, you're going to call Black Label Premium Electric Cigarette by calling Mikey at 561-239-8941, 561-239-8941. Or you can get to his website by typing in BL Premium, PREMIUMECIG.com. And you could, I think there's 10 for 1 or whatever it is, and you get one free deal. It's very good. And you type in Just Enough Heshy, and I guess there'll be more of a discount. Green Line Building Solutions. We have asbestos, lead inspections, DOB, HPD, code compliance, stop lift work orders, plans, permits, anything to get you to the finish line. We're here. We do free consultations. 718-871-0382, 718-871-0382. No problem is too big, at least to give you a little piece of advice. Of course, we're going to start my show, as always, and we're going to start it with my quote. And here's a quote, because I want to tell you something that was very serious. Again, I went through a very tough and difficult time, and I went on a trip with somebody recently. I see how much harder that other people have it. So I'm going to tell you a quote that a lot of people appreciated, and so on. The quote is simple, very simple, Neil. As I look back on my life, I realized that every time I thought I was being rejected for something good, I was actually being redirected for something better. I know it's stupid. I know I complain, but sometimes I do look back, when I was younger, the marriage problem. And then, of course, my woman got her hands and fingers into me, and I was redirected to be a married man instead of a bum on the street. I had beautiful children, which I wasn't too sure that I can have children and be to raise them properly. And I ended up having beautiful, beautiful boys. I ended up, my rabbi told me in 11th grade, Neil, your rabbi as well there. He says to me, "You're never going to get married. You're going to marry some drug addict bomb from the projects, and you're going to be divorced." Not only am I not divorced, I'm 25 years in, old man. Listen to me, and I'm so happy I slept through your boring class because you're an idiot. But that's the deal over
one
there.
of a few.
One of a few. I want to tell you a serious story before I get to the joke of my wife. There was a very nice man, and now it's before the high holy days. So a lot of people, you understand, a lot of these people who are Christian, they're like today the Pope is in town, and people are wanting to see him, and they're giving presents, and they want to get a blessing from him, and a lot of the whole holidays, a lot of the Jewish people, they go to their rabbis, they leave their families to pray with him, to try to get closer to God, to see where they're coming from. So this nice man, his name was David. He went every year on the holiday of Hanukkah to go light the candles, and on the holy days he went to spend the holy days and pray to God with him. And every year he went, and every year he used to buy the rabbi a present. He used to buy him some kind of a silver, holder for his esrig, another a candle holder. This year he was going for Hanukkah, so he bought his rabbi a beautiful, gorgeous silver Minoah, and he was just thinking, "Oh my God, this rabbi is gonna love it." Every year, the rabbi looks at the gift and he checks it over. He says, "Wow, it's wonderful, it's beautiful." Anyways, the weather was so bad that winter that he couldn't travel to see his rabbi, and he wouldn't put up with it. He said, "I bought the guy a present. I go every year. I never miss. I gotta go." And he called a bunch of people to help him, drivers and so on. Nobody would take him. They said, "Just to get to the next town is impossible. To go over there." Finally, he found one guy that says, "I'll take you." Okay. The guy takes him, puts him in the wagon. They go. He says, "Listen to me. The roads are so bad, but there's a way. If I go over this special lake and it's pretty frozen, we're going to make it there. And it's a shorter way to get there." The guy says, "Okay, fine." They get in the wagon. They're going. They get to the lake. They're already ahead of schedule. They're running on the lake. And as they're getting to the lake, towards the end, boom, the ice cracks. Everything collapses. They all fall into this frozen, icy water. Everything is lost. The wagon driver, his horse, all of his beautiful gifts frozen. He finds a piece of plank. Somehow in the freezing water, he makes it even with the undertow to the shore. He doesn't know how he survived. He walks, he finds a home. And the person takes him in, warms him up, and says, "What are you going to do?" He says, "No, I got to get to my rabbi. The holidays are coming." So he goes in, he warms up a little bit, and he runs in his crinkled and dirty clothes with nothing, and he runs to the rabbi, and he runs into the rabbi, and the rabbi sees him disheveled and all ripped apart. And he says, "Oh, welcome." And, he always brings the gifts, and the rabbi is expecting it, but the rabbi didn't ask him for nothing, didn't even ask him the story, what happened to him. The rabbi goes, lights the candles, he makes this big prayer. The guy is like in heaven. Wow, my holy man blessed me. Then he gave him a blessing. And the rabbi didn't question anything. And then as he's walking with the rabbi, he calls him forward. The rabbi calls him forward, and he walks with him. And he starts to cry. And he tells the rabbi the story. And he says, "Rabbi, I brought you this gift. I brought you this something special thing. You're my man. You're the man who's like my father, my leader." And the rabbi says, "Listen, I hear your story. What do you have in your pocket?" He says, "I have nothing. I have nothing. I lost it all. Give me what's in your pocket." He looks in his pocket and he takes out a sandwich that he got from this other guy's place. And the rabbi takes it and looks it over and says, "This is wonderful." He says, "It's not the gift or the value of the gift. It's what you want to give me. It's you try your best. Even if you have nothing, you're giving me something."
So he believed in good intentions.
Good intentions. And that's my point here today. When you serve your God, you don't have to give. Sure, it's nice to give charity and give big things, but there's so many other things that God, if you believe in God, a lot of people told me today I don't believe in him. A radio show guy, he has some kind of a radio show, wants to interview me. He said, "But I'm not going to interview you about your show or God. I'm going to interview you about business because you know about business." So this is what it is. The high holy days are coming. You will go out and do charity. You will go out and serve a man. You will go visit somebody in the prisons. You will go do something good. That is what God holds as an important gift. That's what I believe. And if you believe in God, this is what it is. If you believe in a holy power, a higher power, I'm sure this is what the higher power wants you to do. And if you don't believe in God, this is what the right moral thing to do is to do.
The
humane and the right thing to do. The right thing. And we're going to talk about that because I'm going to bring up another story. So now that you heard my inspirational story and you didn't cry, I want to tell you a cute joke. As you know, I'm married 25 years. So I heard this story from a guy. There was these two Amish guys and a father and a son, and they go to the big town. You know, the Amish guys don't have anything. They don't even the bad Amish, they have cars without lights in it. So they go to the big town and they find a hotel and they check into the hotel and they're walking over to the hallway and the guy points to them, that's the way you go up. So they're standing in front of the elevator and they don't know what the elevator is like. And they see these two doors open up, a box there, and it closes and numbers go up and down. So anyways, they're standing there, not sure what's going on. And all of a sudden, a lady pushes by them, a big, chubby lady, maybe about 250 pounds, maybe about 75 years old. She pushes her way by and she walks into the elevator and the elevator doors close. And they're watching and they see the numbers going up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way to number 20. Okay. Then they see the numbers coming down, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, and all the way to 1. Elevator door opens up. A beautiful, gorgeous, blonde woman comes out. And all of a sudden, the father turns to the son, quickly, go get your mother. So that's my joke. Linda, I will not let you take that elevator. I want you exactly the way you are. You are perfect. You are wonderful. And thank you for staying with the bum like me for 25 years. Anyways, I wanted to ask you a question, Neil, before we get into some serious topics and subjects. So our guest tonight, we have a special guest on tonight. She is Rivkah Sherr from Florida, and she is a very big advocate for infertility. Couples that can't have children. Rivkah. I thought Rebecca. Rivkah. She's going to come on our show. She's going to talk about infertility on what I understand is
what's her part of it?
Her part of it is that she's an advocate for it. I think she can advise you and show you, like many different people, and she's very big into it. Couples that can't have children, how to have children. I'm not too happy with infertility at all. I think that, hey, if you can't have a child, instead of spending the $200,000-$300,000, which is a good thing, I know you want one, adopt a child. Take in foster children. Help other people with their children. Just a waste of money and never happen. I mean, what's the percentage rate? Do I understand the percentage rate is very little on having infertile, if you're having problems with children. But we're going to hear about that from our audience. Call into the show tonight, everybody, 718-303-9090. Call Neil, my voice of reason. Call Esty, and we have a lot to talk about. Now, Neil, before you get on, I want to get straight to the point. There's a clerk in Kentucky. She decided on her own she's not going to perform gay marriages.
She's not following the law.
She's not following the law. Unacceptable. And now I hear there's a head chief justice in Alabama. He's not going to follow the law. Get out of the job. You don't want to be elected.
They should be fired automatically.
They should be fired automatically, immediately.
How do you not follow rules? But okay.
So
anyway, you have the same thing with Colorado and the other 18 states that sell marijuana, which is a federal law against it, and they do it. I mean, it's the same thing.
So I want my point.
So what do you want to do? Lock up a couple of states?
So I want to point out something to you, okay?
And send them all to Texas, like Dr. Geller said.
Right, Dr. Geller.
Because he said 7 billion people can live in Texas, and they'll have more space than people who live in Manhattan.
What a wonderful, but I didn't agree with a lot what Dr. Geller had to say yesterday.
He's conservative.
But you know what? But the man is a brilliant. I was thinking
he's a constitution, of course.
Right,
but
so now I know what conservative means. It means like old-fashioned way of thinking.
But St, the man, we fight.
But he was a very, very bright man.
But you know what?
And he had real information, not hooey.
No, but he didn't have only information. He had problem-solving solutions with healthcare. With Obama healthcare, everybody has a problem with it. This man decided, hey, man, I have a solution to healthcare by giving everybody vouchers, by giving everybody, helping everybody, just like.
But who's paying for those?
Again, those vouchers. Who's paying for Medicaid? Who's paying for Medicare?
He didn't understand.
Paying for Obamacare?
I was telling him that we're really paying for all those freebies,
right?
Because you raised the price on me. If I have a problem, normally you would charge me, let's say $5,000, and because you have this extra overhead, you're charging $9,000.
Right, exactly.
Let's call it the way it is.
So now I have a
question. I don't know why he didn't understand.
So Neil, I want to ask you a question. So now that we bitched about the politics and about all of that, I want to ask you a question.
Can we say bitched on the radio?
I'm sorry.
All I know is they're all corrupt.
So here's my problem. Right. So my point to you is, here it is. I want to tell you a few things that happened to me recently, okay?
Really?
Right. Dov Heiken, your assemblyman.
Yes.
You're great.
I used to like very much.
He's not mine. Very much. So the man goes on.
He was accessible.
So the man goes on Fox Television. He just comes back from Israel. And remember yesterday I was telling you where he avoided the answer. He knows how to scream and holler, but he does nothing. He doesn't worry about our potholes. He doesn't worry about taxes. He doesn't worry about gay marriage. He doesn't go out and preach, but he's worried about this Iran nuclear bomb 12,000 miles away. We have people who have no food to eat on Sabbath. We have people in jail.
You know what? If he was worrying about that and not about the nuclear war, you'd be like, oh, why did he make a statement about that?
He's a state senator.
He's a state assemblyman.
He's supposed to work for
this.
Right.
He's supposed to work for the
saying it's not his area.
It's not even his area, Esther. He's just coming back from Israel for the 90th time. So of course he's not in Albany. He's too busy in Israel. He gets on Fox.
You know, that's what's on news.
What?
You think he sits in coach?
I don't think so. He sits in coach.
You say maybe?
Right. I think he charges for first class, but he sits in coach. So here's my problem with him. He gets on thing. He doesn't. This is how he does it. You have people who are in jail, who are coming home from jail. Do you know that the black community, Spanish communities, other communities have work release programs, have places to place their people, or worry about it, even though the communities are having problems with their people who are coming out of jail. Do you think Dov Heiken has nobody who went to jail in his community? Do you think he even cares about it? I even called Felder, not me, because I know Felder wouldn't pick up my phone. So Senator Felder, we wrote him an email.
Right.
And we said, we have this guy in jail 7 hours away. Maybe you can get him transported here and help us out. He writes back an email, call our office. It wasn't me. So we called his office 8 times. Do you think they picked up the phone? Chaim Deutsch, another city councilman. We wrote him an email, call our office, no response again. They don't pick up the phone. These guys are so busy with nothing. So I'm going to play.
Chaim Deutsch didn't take.
I know. I thought so. He's busy. He's busy out filling the potholes. That's why he hasn't done it. So I want to play an interview, and I want to see what you guys.
That's a good thing. We want the potholes fixed. No?
But I want you to hear the interview before I pick up. I want you to hear this. And I want you to.
As a guy who's one of 2 religious guys in a place 7 hours away from me.
Right.
He can't have visitors.
He can't have visitors. He's 7 hours away. And all you have to do is, Mr. Heiken, pick up a phone. You've done it before. You've charged people money to help him out. Why don't you just get this guy transferred so his family can go visit him and he can get kosher food? No, we have to do it. We have to ship him food.
Charge money?
I don't know. These guys always, there's money or possibility, or you sent him to a lawyer. I want you to hear this interview and you tell me if I'm crazy.
You're crazy.
To New York State Assemblyman Dov Heiken, one of the first Democrats to speak out against a deal. He just returned from Israel. Before we get to the way Israelis feel about this, and I think I know, why are you against the deal?
Simply because everything that I've read about this deal.
So all of a sudden,
it seems so clear to me that this is a deal that will result in Iran getting a nuclear weapon. The only question is when. Do they get it early by cheating? And I don't think anyone would question for a single moment that Iran is a country. They support terrorism all over the world. Do you think they have a problem cheating and developing this weapon, which they are?
So he's busy worried about other people cheating. He's busy worried about other people cheating, but he's not worried about their local government, their local politicians, your senators, your councilman, Bloomberg, changing the law so he could be a 3-time mayor. He's not worried about the cheating. He's worried about Iran cheating on the nuclear weapons. Okay, so right now we haven't heard any discussion about local politics. Let's keep going. Listen, you're going to love the next part.
Literally on the verge of having done anyway. So this is insane to do this. And I would urge my fellow Democrats, take politics out of this. I wish the President of the United States would say to the Democratic Party, this is an issue of conscience. This could be the biggest mistake ever. This could be Chamberlain 1938, coming back and thinking that the
So Mr. Dov Hyken is so busy about Chamberlain in 1938 and Iran again. Again, nothing to mention about his local citizens. Nothing to mention that he's even going to the September 1st rally that they had today. Nothing to mention that he has to be the sole speaker for all the United States country. And not only that,
but I don't really mind if he speaks out if he would be doing other things.
Right, if he does it. And you know what else? He urges his other Democrats. Did he pick up the phone and call the other Democrats? Now listen to the interview.
Have been saved, that they fooled Hitler. Hitler was making peace. We're dealing with this regime responsible for so much terrorism over the world.
What happens, Assemblyman, when you go to somebody like New York Senator Hildebrand, and she is in favor of the deal? You must have spoken to her or other people who are in favor of it. What do they say to you when you come out?
Well, first of all,
say what you think?
With regard to Senator Gillibrand, I find it absolutely astounding the position that she took, literally the same day that Schumer came out.
So, again, he asked the question, what does Gillibrand say to you? He doesn't answer that he picked up the phone, Mr. Assemblyman, to the senator. He knows the senator wouldn't even look and talk to him. He didn't even pick up the phone to Jerry Nadler, his buddy that he goes out to lunch with. But listen to how he avoids the answer. Did he even make a phone call? Listen to this. All he had to say was, I made a phone call.
You know, you got the senior senator from New York who told the American people, I need to study this. I need to read it. I need to talk to everyone. I need to understand it.
Has she talked to you?
And Senator Schumer comes out and says, this is...
Did you hear? Did she talk to you? He didn't answer it. He went to Schumer. Now,
but I just want to add that Schumer only voted, it will vote no, because he knows enough members are voting yes.
Correct.
And he didn't vote no. He didn't say he's voting no until he had a guarantee that it's all going to go.
But my question,
Schumers are full of
but my question is, why didn't even Hyken say, hey, Schumer changed his mind after I protested in front of his door? Because Mr.
That's not happening.
Right.
That's not what happened.
Right. It's not what happened. And exactly, Mr. Hyken knew how to avoid the story. And it gets better. Listen to how the guy asks him again.
Oh,
you're gonna love it. Yeah. Listen to this. Well,
horrible for America, for our friends in the Middle East.
Senator Gillibrand talked to you?
Yes, the same day. Gillibrand says, this is a good deal. Well, not that good, but it's a good deal. Isn't that insane?
You see, did she talk to you? He says, yes, but it's a good deal. What do you mean, yes? Did she tell you yes? Did she talk to you? What was it, one-word conversation? Tell us the conversation. But no, Hyken in his political mastery was able to avoid it. Listen to this. Keep going. He keeps going, whatever. Anyways, this is the garbage that Mr. Hyken is busy with. He's busy with everything but that.
And it's not his business anyway.
I know that it's not his business, but
I guess everybody wants him to say something about it.
But I don't understand you, sweetheart. He's saying something about this when he's not saying anything about our local thing.
Have we been asking him about this?
Yes, they do. We ask him. Okay, they don't ask him on TV.
That's why he does it, because he gets on TV.
Right, when you get on TV, it's only about the one subject. For example, there's a lot of people that coming out of jail and they lost their licenses. People do bad things, or stupid crimes like some kind of a fraud of mortgage, or they wrote a bad check, and people go to jail, they get a felony, or once you have a criminal record, whatever it is, you get in trouble. So if you behave yourself and do your time and do your probation, SD, you then have a right to go request back to being a doctor or your license or whatever. So all you need is a letter of good conduct from your state senator, from your assemblyman, somebody local, a congressman, and if they write you a letter of good conduct, you are their citizens. How many of their constituents do they have? 150. You can get back your license before you go to the board. Mr. Senator, you're going to love this. Your buddy, Simcha Felder, says, well, we don't help these kind of people because they broke the law. I mean, come on, Mr. Felder.
Everybody breaks the law.
You broke into law. Everybody, and we know what you've done. We know that Mr. Hyken, wasn't he indicted and found guilty and not guilty afterwards? Come on.
I thought not guilty.
I thought he was not guilty too. I think it was guilty in the appeal. Whatever it was, the point is you also broke the law theoretically. You just beat a jury. These are unacceptable things that you don't care about your citizens.
I think, with all due respect, because I think Simcha Felder is a wonderful guy.
He's a good guy.
But I'm just saying, this is not what he's supposed to be doing. He doesn't know this guy. It's not like he knows.
Does he know any of his constituents? There's 150.
He knows a lot of them.
What? 10, 20, 200, 500? You can't know 150,000 constituents.
But
you know how to go.
A lot of them.
But you know how to
apply. A lot of them don't need to know.
Yeah, but the people who recommend him say, "Listen, the rabbi told me to call you. My friend told you." Anybody who tells you to call Senator Felder or Hyken, we know somebody who knows them. So at least call up, check on me, look at my history. I am your constituents. You have no problem running out for a vote. I don't know who you are. You know, I don't know you are. Anyways,
next time you call Felder, tell him I said.
You know what? I'm going to tell Felder that you told me to call him, Neil, to pick up the phone. I have his private cell number. Anyways, call into our show 718-303-9090. We are going to take your calls. We're going to ask you something. I want to put our guest on the show tonight.
1 second, but you're very surprising to me. That Chaim Deutsch, who we had here in the studio,
right?
Not on air, but we had a talk with him,
and he promises.
And he says he'll be. He's always available and accessible.
Right.
And how many calls did you give him?
I think it was 3 calls the guy gave him, and I think he did write an email or didn't write an email, but he never called the guy back, even to allow him to come in to explain his situation. Don't do it on the phone. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're so busy, Chaim, that you can't call the guy to come in.
And I think Chaim Deutsch really should come in here and explain himself.
And Dov Hyken's so busy that he has time to go to Fox Network to get on the show, but doesn't have time to have 2 hours. Like, remember we had that guy, Jeffrey, said, 2 hours a day open up to your constituents. Let us come in and stand online and complain to you.
That's what his office.
Right. The buses, the backlog of traffic, garbage trucks.
Wait till it stops.
Yeah, but the guy doesn't say a word about this.
Wasn't there like a kind rulers back in the day, maybe like a duke or an earl, where people like from the community can come and ask, hey, my farm needs something, and they can come and ask something.
But this is what Jerry Nadler. And by the way, you know, Obama needs only 3 votes more. He doesn't have it yet. 3 votes more to override the. He doesn't have. They're saying today he needs 3 more votes.
Okay. He's got.
Okay. And if not, Schumer switches sides. What happens?
When the world goes to an end, we'll know who.
But again, anyways, we're going to talk now to Rivkah Sherr. Esty, she's on line 1. Let's get her in. Rivkah, how are you?
Good. How's it going?
Welcome to the Just Enough Heshy Show. You have Neil, my voice of reason, and my beautiful. And welcome. And Esty, my beautiful Esty, with a beautiful ribbon in the hair. I hope you could see us.
Yes.
Rivkah, before we start the show, and I want to ask you a question. We want to know who you are and what you are about, and tell us, because I know that I made a little bit of fun about infertility. I know I'm one of the guys who don't know about it. We all make fun of everything. Like I just made fun of my wife. I never had my 25th anniversary. Maybe on the second time around I'll know better. But again, we want to know what. Tell us give us a history lesson on infertility, and give us what you do. What is your how do you help people with this problem? Right.
Yes. Okay, so basically I came into it because of, personal experience. Before then I really didn't know that much about it, but we wanted to start a family, and we never thought there would be issues, and obviously there were issues. Some people, have specific things that might be wrong. We do not have anything specific. And basically, I just started researching many different options, and that's how I got involved in it. I first started off with Resolve, which is a national organization, non-denominational, and then I felt like the Jewish component was missing. So I actually, spoke to my Rebbitzin, and she knew somebody who lived in South Florida who had a support group. So I started with that, and through like a whole, like what you say, like Seder Hishtalshalut, like a whole kind of different circumstances, I ended up going to the rabbi with people who had questions, primarily about third-party reproduction, meaning they did surrogacy, and they wanted to know the status of their children, if they were Jewish or not. And I connected sort of different people together, and we started actually a local support group, which I really am involved with and worked very hard on. The other thing that I got involved with is many Facebook groups that I advise people on and I'm part of. And, the more I got into it, I started directing people to different organizations. And I also got involved in halachic research to know, if people are pursuing different options, what does halacha say about it, and what are
Esther, I don't want to hear halacha right now, but Esther, I mean, Rivkah, my question to you is that infertility, these infertility clinics that help you and impregnate you or whatever it is, isn't the success rate less than 10%?
Okay, so basically it depends what people are doing and what their issue is. They say in the general world, 1 in 8 couples. They say in the Jewish world, 1 in 6 couples. Now, if you do, it depends on the individual situation, depends what you're doing. There's different stages of what people do. There's more aggressive forms of treatment, and then there's more, you go in an order. And certain ones have, I don't know exactly the percentages, but certain ones do have a higher rate of success, and a lot of people do have success.
What I heard is that a lot of these infertility clinics are con people, that they take $10,000 to $20,000 per each. What's it called again? Intro.
IVF.
Right.
In vitro fertilization.
In vitro fertilization, they charge between $10,000, $20,000, and even heard $100,000. And if it doesn't work, they freeze 3 or 4 of your eggs. And like you said, 1 in 6 might work. I believe that the number is even lower than that.
No, they're saying 1 in 6 have infertility. No, basically, in different places it costs different things. Overseas and in Israel, it costs significantly less. It doesn't cost more than between 15 and 20. It's still a lot. Some places give some kind of a reduction or package deals. There are organizations that do help out, and this is something we're also working on. But basically, there is good percentage rates. Listen, the business is not the most ethical, clean business. You know what I'm saying? It's an economy that goes by like money and things like that.
Doctors that found a niche to con you, and maybe it works. But
I don't think it's conning. I think it's like some people are in a situation and they really want it to happen, and not always are they informed. So the first thing we do tell them is get yourself educated, get yourself informed, advocate for yourself, and look at it in a way. And this is what I also learned over time, that you're paying them money and they're working for you, not the opposite way around.
Now, Rivkah, the people who have these child problems and they fail, a lot of them, when they fail 3 or 4 times, the depression sets in so badly for the women, I hear, that they not forget that they need therapy. A lot of them are on the verge of suicide because of stuff like this. That's what
I don't know if it's that extreme, and that's why the support groups that are in place, and different organizations have them, and we have them locally, and different people are working on having them locally, are very much important, because this gives people support, and the ones that are online gives people support and emotional support and all the kinds of support that they need, that they could get to that next step. And I'm very involved in those, and I see it every day.
But Rivkah, why can't we just solve the problem by adopting a child that needs a home? There's so many homeless kids, many people. So I know. Don't get me wrong, Rivkah. Yeah. I know that I wanted my own babies. I know that we all want it. But hey, man, God, the higher power, whatever it is, said you're not having a baby, or you got sick and you need a special operation. It's dangerous. Hey, why waste hundreds of, and I know people who wasted thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of dollars, hundreds of, and you know that, Rivkah, people have spent, especially the very rich, hundreds of thousands of dollars and still not get accomplished. I don't understand you. Pick up a child. There's so many of them.
I don't know a lot about
I'll tell you something about that. First of all, it's a myth that there are millions of babies out there and people are looking to give them away. And then when you come into the Jewish world, there's a lot of halachic issues that come with that.
What? Give me one halachic issue that's a problem. One. Just give me one.
What's the problem? The problem? Basically, you have to know the origin of the child. Basically, a lot of times the child is not Jewish. You have to convert them, and certain people are not.
Okay. Again, isn't that easier than going through introvertilization?
In IVF, it depends for who and what.
And here's my big question to you. Since the child comes from a home that's not Jewish, he has the right to become not Jewish afterwards. Any child can become not Jewish when he grows up or go off the. We had people here from Footsteps and OTD. There's an organization. They don't want to be Jewish anymore. You can't force it.
It's very different. Also, you live in a community and you live in a society where certain things are accepted or not accepted, and you have to give that child an equal opportunity to be accepted in that society. So it's complicated and it's
but
very
Rivkah,
involving,
but
and it costs actually more money to adopt in a certain way than it does to do actually certain kinds of treatment.
But Rivkah, you're taking a kid that's existing that will have a terrible life instead of and I'm not knocking it, Rivkah. I'm just asking you the question because I want you to hear this.
Yeah. I hear you.
That you think that there's no questions on the in vitro. I know that when you have one of those in vitro babies and your child grows up to get married, you're going to have to tell the other family that this kid was born through in vitro.
That's fine, and that's what I'm saying, and that's why the halachic part of it, I know you don't want to get into that, but everything that when I advocate, I research thoroughly and I make sure, like, what's the best way, what's the kosher way to do it. And people want to try what's genetically theirs first. And the adoption thing is not really a very easy thing, and it's really not always the answer for everyone, and it's not always available for everyone.
Now, Rivkah, your religion, you are religious, modern Orthodox, Reform?
Actually, I'm technically OTD.
OTD. So, do you help only the religious, not religious, Orthodox?
Actually, okay, so that's a very good question. I believe in equal opportunity. I help anybody who needs help. And I'm very into this because I came from a certain society. I left to a certain degree, but at the end of the day, I believe in this. And I advocate primarily in the frum community because I feel like that's where it's needed most. I feel like the education level with the rabbis, with people that are involved, is not on the level that really it should be. Organizations are not really, they try their best, but I feel like there's a lot of work to be done there, and I very much advocate in the frum community because I want the option that there is. For anybody on the street, they could go to Resolve, they could go to different places. In a way, they have different options. When you're frum or when you're Jewish, there are certain things that are challenging, and I believe very much that they should have as much opportunity as they can, and that's why I advocate in that
Rivkah, I want
to
ask you one more question.
I want to ask you a question.
I want to finish. I'm going to let you guys go next, but Rivkah, here's my question for you. The woman can have a child because she's getting in vitro affected, so most likely they're going to fix the problem. The man, her husband or her mate, cannot have a child no matter what. So now she's going to need artificial insemination. Why don't we just jump to why don't we just jump and get it over with quickly? Or is this only made for women who have problems, not with the men who have problems?
Okay, so actually, when you're doing any kind of treatment, you have to check both. And, there is some reservations in the frum community, but there are ways to do it. And I feel it's very important. When somebody's going for treatment, both have to be checked. There's no question. You cannot proceed until then. And then there are options. If it's a woman's issue, if it's the man's issue, there are definitely options. I did not research every single part of it, but there are options of how you could fix it for the man or for the woman. There are many options today. There's donor eggs, there's donor sperm, there's donor embryos, there's surrogacy, there's adoption. There's many different things and many different procedures. So all is really
I want to say something.
Go ahead, Esty.
So first off, how could it be okay for a woman to have a seed not from her husband? That's technically considered a mamzer, a bastard child. So how is
Yeah, so it's a very good question, and I know some people have done it, and I know there is actually an organization in Israel called Kayama Moms, and basically it is single women that for some reason don't have a partner, and they go and they have a child on their own. I don't know all the details.
That's different because they're not married. I'm saying if they're married, it's a problem.
It can be. It's a very good question. I did not research that fully. I don't know all the answers for that, but
I would say that problem would. I would say that problem. But Rivkah, I would say that problem would arise in the Christian as well as the Baptist, the Muslim, any community.
100%.
So, by the way, I mean, I don't know a lot about this, but I do know I can get $8,000 if I donate an egg.
Really?
Yep. Jewish eggs are very high in demand because you have to find an unmarried woman, preferably someone who's already
How about Jewish? Okay. How about men? How about men? Maybe I can donate.
Yeah, you get nothing because it's so easy.
No, I get nothing.
Yeah,
just imagine 5,000 little Heshys.
You get like $20. Like they really give you nothing.
$20, I can't even buy a
No, because for women it's a whole surgery. For guys, it's just like bam.
Exactly. But let me just tell you something about the women and the eggs.
No, Rivkah.
You know, I know
Rivkah. Neil wants to ask a question, and we have a caller. But go ahead, Neil. No, I want you to go, Neil. Go ahead, ask a question.
No, I was just wondering if this applies to people that, let's say, had one child and they're trying to have more and it's not going.
Okay, so yes, there's primary infertility and secondary. Primary means you don't have any children. Secondary means you have a child, but you have problem having more children. So there's both in this whole spectrum of things, and there are, you know, different ways and different places that, you know, some people give money, you know, for the primary, some people for the secondary. So it's all under the umbrella of infertility.
Is it very rare, or it's like?
No, it's pretty. I think both are pretty common. I just found what was interesting is when I went for support services in the regular community, you know, like secular, most of the people that came had primary. When I entered into the Jewish world, a lot of them were secondary. I think in the Jewish world there's a much bigger stigma, and people are hesitant to come forward. And this is why I really put my energy in that, and I really put it out there.
Nice.
You know, that people should come and, you know, ask for help and get help.
You're a good person. Rivkah, I want to take a phone call. Let's connect Mitch into, Mitch is one of our good, he's very smart, much smarter than me.
Okay.
Mitch, hello, welcome to the show.
Hi, Ash, how you doing? Well, first of all, hello, Rivkah, how you doing?
I think we lost her for a second. We're going to try to get her back on the line, Mitch, right now. I don't know when.
Well, let me make a point here, and I think I could say it as a parent who loves my kids, but I will say one thing. When I first got married to my late wife, one of the things that we said was, if it got into a situation where we couldn't have children, we were going to adopt. We were not going to go through this mishigas with this fertility stuff. First of all, number one, forget about the fact that it's expensive.
By the way, Mitch, we have Rivkah back on the line, so keep going. Go ahead, Mitch.
Yeah, hello, Rivkah. How are you?
I don't know. He's not putting her through.
I mean, I would like surrogates. I want to have.
Here we go. We got Rivkah.
I want to have like 50 kids.
Rivkah, welcome back. You got Mitch on the line. He wants to talk to you.
Yeah, hi, Rivkah. How are you?
Good. How's it going?
Okay, I'll tell you. From personal experience, when me and my late wife, when we first got married, we decided that if we weren't able to have children the normal way, we were going to go for adoption. Thank God we were able to have our own children, and that's life.
When does that conversation come up? Like, hey, maybe we won't have kids. Let's figure out what we do in case we don't.
Right away.
Who thinks about it?
I thought about it right away.
We have to discuss. Look, it happens. It happens. I mean, people don't. It happens that people sometimes can't have children. So it is something that you discuss when you first get married. But I'll tell you one thing I don't like about the fertility thing. Now, we know, first of all, number one, it creates a situation where there's, I see them, whether it's these religious communities or other communities, where suddenly there's 13 billion triplets out there. And what they do is, and don't say this isn't the truth, because it is, they have these things called facts at the very beginning, where the doctor says, okay, you got 14 here. What we're going to do is we're going to cut down the 14 3 to mathematically have a better chance to have children. So right away they're saying that these things aren't the multiple births, first of all, at the beginning are not tremendously good, but it's a major challenge for most pediatric surgeons. I just want to tell people out there, you can love an adopted child, number one, and I don't want to compare it to the animal kingdom. But let me tell you something. I say this even about when people want to get pets. Why do people spend thousands of dollars on some stupid breeder situation where they could actually get a dog or a cat that's right here that can give a home to?
Well, Mitch, we're going to let Rivkah talk a little bit, but thank you, Mitch, for the comments. You have thank you, Mitch. We like you. Rivkah, you heard what Mitch had to say about all this. Any comment?
Yeah, we sort of addressed this about the adoption thing versus person trying. There are many reasons why people want to try. They want their own genetic children. There are good chances, that should really.
What is that? What does that mean? Genetic children? I know that you want
biological, but they want biological.
Isn't a child a child? No matter. I love.
They think they're such gems of brilliance and good looks, and they're like, hey, I want to have a kid that's as good looking and brilliant as me.
What do you mean, Neil? No. What do you mean, no? Neil?
I want my own DNA. My kid should have my DNA.
Especially in the Jewish world.
Why? Tell me why, Rivkah. Rivkah, tell me why.
Because I want more me in the world.
Because it's me. It's a piece of me.
Yes, and adoption, I'm telling you, is not available and applicable and out there as much as you think for everyone. People have a right to, procreate, and if there is certain kind of intervention that they could go out there and they could do and they could have it happen, that's their choice. It's very hard. It's not really politically correct or correct to tell people. They tell you not to say that to people. Oh, just adopt. Oh, it's not a big deal. There's a certain amount of sensitivity that has to be put out there, which is very hard. Somebody does not really have what's in their power, does not really have a choice. So these are all options, but these are not for us or anybody else to say.
So, Rivkah, I want to ask you. Rivkah, I want to ask you a question. What happens if a gay or a lesbian couple says, I'm not gonna be able to have a baby with her, so maybe you can help me out to make this in vitro stuff work for me?
A lot of people do that. That's what they do. That's how they do get to have children. They do with surrogates, or they do, in different ways or whatever. And today it's a free world, it's an open world. Everybody's entitled. So that's something that is done, and that's possible today. It's a very personal and individual choice. What I'm looking to put out there is that people that do have this challenge, there are options, there are ways to reach out, there are community organizations, there are ways and means of getting there, and it can happen for you, but you have to really be out there looking for it and be persistent and be on top of it.
So
and that's the way
it's going to happen for people to go.
So, Rivkah, I have another call that I want to take a call. I want to ask you a question, but my question to you is also, since I'm doing all this scientific mumbo jumbo and making babies out of the blue, and I'm not knocking it, don't get me wrong. Now, since I'm messing around here, can't I stick some extra chemicals and stuff to make this baby stronger or smarter or change that? So, can I pick a girl out of a boy?
You can choose twins.
I can actually choose twins?
I don't know if you could choose. I don't know if you could choose twins. It is a side effect. Nobody really recommends multiples. Multiples are not really could be very dangerous. So people recommend one at a time. But yes, that's the other side of it. The other side of it is there's a positive, and then there's questionable ethics. You could create a designer baby and do different things. On the other hand, if we didn't have all this technology, people that have, let's say, cancer or different kinds of things would not be able to have children. So there's definitely pluses and minuses. But today, the amount of people that have children through these procedures, I think, supersedes and is, it's that's the more important part of it. So, like, the regular person who can't do it has that option. And then the other ethical, moral issues, people have to sort of decide for themselves.
I don't know. Ethical, moral issues don't exist there. But I want to take a phone call. Let's connect Larry in on the phone. Larry, how do you do this? Push the button for Larry. Let's see if he gets us connected in. Larry, you're on the show with Uncle Heshy and the crew here. You got Rivkah.
Yeah, okay, Heshy and Esty and reasonable meal. Rivkah is hiding behind the diagnosis infertility, and she doesn't want to discuss why she's diagnosable infertile. She wants a little person she can dominate and doesn't care about her husband.
Wow, Larry.
I had a little more, but let me hear what Esty said.
No. We were just saying.
I don't get it. Like,
right, well, I don't understand.
What is there to bash about it? Like, I know you're bashing her. I'm not really getting how.
He's saying that since you can't have a baby, you're going to spend whatever it takes, whatever it does to hurt, and you don't care about anybody else but to have this baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rivkah, what do you say?
I'm sure there's some people that get obsessed with it, and that's their only thing.
I think we lost Rivkah. Did we lose Rivkah? I think we might have lost her.
Sorry about that.
I don't know. We're going to get her back. Larry, very, very interesting question. You're right.
I have a little more.
Go ahead. Keep going.
Okay. In vitro childbirth isn't natural childbirth. Rivkah isn't able to have natural childbirth, so she needs the diagnosis infertile.
What do you mean she can't have? Once they impregnate her, she goes through the regular system, no?
Well, do you mean impregnated by in vitro impregnation?
Correct.
Yeah, that's not natural childbirth.
That's not natural child. We lost Larry. I don't know how.
Yeah, okay. I missed the question because
He's saying that Larry asked the question is simple. He says, now that you are able to be impregnated with this in vitro, you don't care about nothing but to have this baby. You don't care about your husband. All your job is that you want a little baby to boss around, to love, to care. You want to just love something that you, because you don't love the rest of the world. I mean, I'm sure you've heard this before. And he's saying that it's also not, and also he says it's not a natural thing.
Okay. First of all, this is a very big, hard procedure that just doesn't come out of the air. And when people have regular children, it could be the same way. I think when people have children naturally and they don't even think about it twice, sometimes they take it for granted. I'm not saying everybody does, but I'm saying in this situation, it takes a lot of money, emotional energy, and you have to have a strong relationship, and you really have to work on this to make this happen.
What do you mean, Rivkah? What do you mean, Rivkah? I know that my wife comes over to me and says to me, Heshy, I used the credit card. I just bought a new couch, and I'm ready to kill her and choke her. I know she's married 25 years to me, and you know that I'm scared of her because I love her. So, well, yeah, baby, go spend everything is. We'll sleep on the floor, whatever you want. So you know that a man who loves his woman, go do whatever you got to do as long as you come home and cook for me.
100%. But here, when a couple is embarking on this process, it is a lot of energy that they have to both invest, and they have to be committed to it. Not everybody could do it. It's a very hard procedure. It takes a long time. It takes surgeries. It's a lot of work and effort.
Do you have to go through psychological counseling?
Evaluation.
You don't have to, but sometimes it could help and is recommended because it's a very hard process. I think in certain kind of the processes, sometimes it's required, but in general, it's a hard process, and people will choose to do that. And to say that it's not natural, maybe it's not natural in the regular sense, but I look at it this way: in these kind of situations, it's black and white. It's either people are going to embark on this journey and have a child, or they're going to choose not to have a child. And I believe that they should check out every way and possibility to try and do it to the best of their ability if that's what they want. And they're entitled. Just because whoever the higher power is decided that this is not going to be easy road or this is not going to be regular, does not mean that they should try.
I want to take another caller to maybe ask you or to take your side. Let's take another caller on the line. Hello, you're on the air with Uncle Heshy, Neil, and Esty. Go ahead. And Rivkah.
Yeah, hi, how you doing? I think it's stupid what you're saying, you and Larry, and you guys should burn in hell.
Wow. Hell? I should burn in hell?
Hold on. Tim, are you a religious man?
No, I'm not. I'm not religious.
So what hell are you talking about?
Yeah, what hell are you talking about?
Listening to you talk?
But why am I burning in hell? What did I do wrong?
Yeah.
Because you're not sensitive. It's very sensitive topic to a lot of people, and what you guys doing to Rivkah is not right. That's it.
So you're saying we're offending her and
so
you.
So you understand everything
Rivkah
has to say.
You're offending her. You know what I'm saying?
But did you understand everything? I was just asking you, do you understand everything Rivkah is talking about children?
Yes, I do understand, and it's very sensitive for her.
I don't see what we're offending. I think you're taking it the wrong way.
We're just asking for information.
We're asking if she's doing the right thing, and if something happens like that to me, I would like to know. I mean, I might want another child, and I don't think I can procreate.
Stupid guy like Larry on the air. That's what you're doing. You're not allowed.
Guys, change the program, guys.
The thing is, I just don't think that you should ever tell someone, I hope you burn in hell. I mean, unless they murdered your kid or something, like what? Like burning in hell is legit. Being slightly not tolerant of someone in their opinion.
He's not a religious man. He doesn't know there's hell.
Rivkah,
but he thinks we think in hell.
Rivkah, we're coming down to the last couple of minutes, and I want to ask you a question, and I want you to close out very simple. teach us. I mean, show me. I mean, first of all, do you accept older couples in their 40s, which is dangerous to have a child to begin with?
Yes. Well, I guess you could say I'm sort of maybe in that category. And today, people for different reasons, not always because they chose it, have to do it when they are older. And I totally support that. I'm also very supportive of people, even in the religious community, that are single, that want to have children. I feel like everybody should have an opportunity, no matter what their circumstances is, within reason, and I support that fully. And I will try to direct them
even if they know, even Rivkah, even if they know for a fact, which what I mean is the doctor tells them that the child will be autistic or have issues
or Down
syndrome. That's already down.
You still
that's already down the road. You know?
No. You still believe that those people have a right to have a child anyway?
But you don't know that when you're going in. You don't know that that's further down the road. You don't know that that's going to happen.
Sure, Rivkah, anybody in their 40s knows simple and plain that the chances of having a Down syndrome child, a child that has CP, that means cerebral palsy, a child that has
First of all, today, also with the technology that you do, you could check a lot of things before. You could find out a lot of things before. It's possible.
But today, you have a lot of.
One minute, Daniel. According to Dr. Hellman yesterday, once you made this child, you spent $100,000. Now you're going to abort the child because he's sick?
That's a personal choice. It's hard for me to say. They have to ask, whoever they think they have to ask.
So this child in virtual is a game. If my child is pretty and handsome and gorgeous and smart, fine, I'll have her. If she comes out a little crooked, you know what? I didn't really want a child. I mean, come on, that's wrong.
But that's not my place to say. My job is to get a person to where they want to go, and what they do further down the road, I can't tell them what to do. If they're coming to me and they're saying, I need help, what's the best way, what's the best resources, I could direct them and I could tell them. What they're going to do later on down the road is not really my advice. You know what I'm saying? That's personal.
So Rivkah, we got another minute with you. I want you to tell people how do they reach you? How do you give advice? How do we get you on Facebook? I'm in trouble. Help me, Rivkah. What can I do to reach you besides calling the Just Enough Heshy show or emailing me? Go ahead, Rivkah.
Okay, so basically, I'm an independent agent, sort of to say. I'm on Facebook under my name, and basically people write me individually, and I could refer them to bigger organizations that are out there, Facebook groups, rabbis that I've been in touch with. I network a lot, so it's like, whichever way I could direct them or show them, that's what I try to do. And, every day I try to gather new information and I put it out there. I'm in a lot of groups. I put a lot of resources in there, and I try the best way I know. So that's really, the best way to reach me.
You're wonderful.
Rivkah, how long are you doing this?
So basically going on like 5 years, because that's when I got involved in it. And as time goes on, I get, more and more involved.
Yeah,
so it's a full-time thing for you?
Yeah, it's a full-time volunteer job, which I hope to, further and see, where I could go with it and what else I could do with it.
Yeah, Rivkah, you're one of the special people. I want to ask you one question. Is there a danger of death during this process?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I never heard of that really.
Same as any other pregnancy.
Exactly. I mean, some are higher risk. You are putting, a certain amount of drugs in your body, but like to say, oh, there's a danger of death, not really. You might. There's also a lot of studies that are inconclusive about, how it affects. So at this point, the positives outweigh the negatives. So I would say if somebody could handle it and could do it, they should try.
Thank you, Rivkah. You are a wonderful caller. I hope you come to New York and visit us. You are just great, Rivkah. Thank you for coming in and calling in.
Thank you for your services.
And thank you for doing good. And my next quote is going to be directed to you, so I want you to listen to it. Thank you, Rivkah, for your call.
Okay.
So this is just for Rivkah, and I want you to hear this one. You take your life in your own hands, and what happens? A terrible thing. No one to blame. Bottom line, it's still your life. Make the best of it. Love the life we have. and you will love yourself, and you will love others as well. Esther, you've taught us to take our life into our hands. You've taught us that we can have children if we want. I still believe in adoption. I think the virtual thing is a good thing.
Different things for different people.
Everybody stay tuned. We'll be right back with the Just Enough Heshy Show. And Esty will do our commercials on the second half. And I promise, even though with the face you have. Stay tuned, everybody. Welcome back, everybody, to the second hour of the Just Enough Heshy Show. Me and my beautiful Esty co-host sitting here while she texts, and Neil, voice of reason.
2-minute break. It wasn't
you
over
did
yet.
get a 2-minute. Your break is far from over, Esty, because right now you're going to tell everybody, first of all, who to call and how to reach us, because, you know, next week is our last two shows for season one, and I want people to still enjoy the next two shows, because the next two shows, you're going to freak out who's on our next two shows. We have a Rabbi Leiter next week. He's going to blow you. Where are you going?
I might have to work. I have like a 3-day job. I don't know which 3 days I'm taking off.
Oh, no, Esther, I need you. The last two shows, how do we close out the season without you, baby girl? Anyways, tell everybody about the show.
So, yeah, you guys are listening to the Just Enough Heshy Show. We're on Monday and Tuesday from 7 to 9 p.m. You can get us on Facebook, like our page, Just Enough Heshy. Follow us on Twitter, #Just Enough Heshy. We're live on YouTube, or if you want to see our past shows, we're on YouTube. If you want to email us or advertise with us, you can email us at justenoughheshy@gmail.com, and you can call us at 718-303-9090. We have Mr. Clean's Dry Cleaning. He does free pickup and delivery. If you mention the Just Enough Heshy Show, you get 25% off. You can reach him at mrcleandelivers@gmail.com or call him at 347-369-3051. We have the Black Label Electronic Cigarettes. You can go to blpremiumesig.com or call Mikey at 561-239-5941. We have Greenline Building Solutions. They do asbestos and lead inspection, DOB, HPD, code compliance. They lift stop work orders, and they do free consultation. You can reach them at 718-871-0382.
Oh, wow, that was great. Esther, I want you to know something. Last week, I found a video online that blew me away. It's a couple of young kids. They did it a couple of years ago, a Jewish video. And the video was great, and the music was wonderful, and it really made fun of, it didn't make fun of Shabbos. It made fun of, it just made people happy, and it made me smile and laugh. And I want you all to hear this song. And I'm playing it on the Just Enough Heshy Show, so you guys should have a good laugh. It's about Shabbos. It's about getting married, and my boys are going to get married. So I want you to hear this and have a good laugh.
Shabbos conditions, don't think too much, just say that kiddish. I want to have a taste of your Shabbos conditions. I'm on a mission. It involves a Shabbos dinner. I braid the challah, chill the wine. I make the chill and hope it's fine. A Shabbos dinner. Mommy, oh mommy, we just want some Shabbos dinner. Under 5 minutes, I promise it's almost ready. Have some fun, it's chillin', just delicious. I wanna have a taste of your Shabbos conditions. Don't think too much, just say that kiddish. I wanna have a taste of your Shabbos conditions. Let's say a mercy, eat the challah, have the dinner. The Shabbos dinner. Let's say a mercy, eat the challah, have the dinner. The Shabbos dinner. Roll them.
Anyways, everybody, I thought that was a great song. They were really...
Wait, so I saw a video recently. It's basically, a cop pulls over a truck, right? And while he's walking, to give the guy a ticket or whatever, the truck opens up and a bunch of little, I think, Spanish people just come outside of the truck, and like they're running out and they're just like taking pieces from the cop car. They take the front, they take the license plate, they take the top, they take everything. They all rush back in. The cop doesn't notice because it's a really big truck. And he comes out, he goes there, he's looking back at his car, he tries running after them. It was such a funny video.
But this was, by the fact, I just got a text that a girl singing. How could you put out a girl singing?
Yeah, I know. I was thinking that also that people would get mad.
By the way, I was in synagogue this morning and people scream at me, can you be a little bit more
refined and proper?
And more,
what is the point then?
Right.
You know what? Those people who are telling you be more refined and proper, let them be refined and proper.
Well,
like, that's not your job. It's obviously theirs.
I got you. But anyways, everybody, I just want you to know, I thought it was a cool thing, and they made Shabbos happy. You should know that you missed a cool song. You remember that? Oh, you heard it. Wonderful. I like these people. I don't know exactly the name of their group. I know there's something cool, but they have another video and other stuff. I don't think they exist anymore, but all I know is they were a great song. It's an old one that I found, and
oldie but good.
And they have another song or two I would play. Maybe I'll play it next time. So Neil,
I want to play a song once, a beautiful song that it happens to be Jewish, but there's no God or whatever. It's just
beautiful.
So yeah,
Shabbos
today our last day.
No, next week is our last week.
Oh, next week.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, I just wanted to bring up a couple of local issues.
Can I tell everybody the number?
And Jewish issues.
Can I tell everybody the number?
Going on in the
I kind of want to play a song.
At 718-303-9090.
Yeah.
We're available. We have a few lines open at 718-303-9090.
Wow. Go ahead, Neil.
Okay.
Tell me what your problem is besides hiking Felder and Greenfeld.
Yeah. No. I'm going on to the Orthodox menu now.
Okay.
First of all, there was a kosher food company that, excuse me 1 second.
What?
Yeah.
A kosher food company that's been selling product, and in the front of the box of the product, it's been showing how they are different than other companies making the same item.
Everybody
in other
does
words,
that.
they have less calories, they have more fiber, and the number difference was astronomical. In other words, like, it didn't make sense to anyone, but hey, a guy's putting it on the front of his box in bold letters, and he's comparing it to another brand, so you believe it. Anyway, somebody did a little homework, sent it out to an independent lab, and it was all bogus. All bogus. And this is what we have sometimes in our community.
What do you mean? They made fake labels? Can't you get arrested for that or something?
They should be. I think the stuff is off the shelf.
Oh, come on. I was watching TV.
Excuse me. No. I'm not going to excuse you.
Why?
No. Do you know what the difference is between eating one of those crackers or flatbreads that guy had and a regular one for a diabetic? There's a tremendous difference.
You can kill them.
I mean,
they could
let's
be seriously
not kid each
sued.
other, okay? This was a really nasty way to con your own people. I'm sorry.
Neil.
No, I'm sorry.
Can I just say
there
something?
There are enough people with diabetes out there today, and that's just one thing.
But I want to ask you a question. I was watching television the other night, and there's something called liposome, whatever. And if you take this pill, it guarantees you to lose weight right away.
I heard about it. So my mother was checking this out.
I bought it for $29.99. I got a free bottle, and let me tell you how much weight I lost. I gained 5 pounds.
What?
Yes, what? It's a lie.
But that's why they make infomercials, by the way.
For me,
he buys God.
No, so I heard.
You know what else I bought? I bought this cute little shaver that cuts your hair for the ear. $10.
Why did
I got
you buy
one.
that with no nose? What is
that? Right,
thing?
and it didn't work. I was such a dumbbell.
By the way,
but I got free shipping.
By the way, you can look up reviews online, and they'll tell you right away if it doesn't work. But by the way, they have 3 top pills right now. Like there's I forgot which show, not Dr. Phil. What's the health show?
Oz?
Oh, the
Dr. Oz. He promotes a specific diet pill, and then there's 2 other networks that also a different diet pill. There's 3 top diet pills where they have the same ingredient, and apparently that's what makes you lose weight. It kind of bumps up your system or something. So maybe you didn't try that one, but apparently those work.
Well,
So, Neil,
I would suggest people just eat balanced and
exercise,
real portions, and not overeat.
So the hard way, why would we want that?
No, it's not really the hard way. It's your habit. You know,
easy way out.
It's just a habit.
Call into the show 718-303-9090. Now, Neil,
I'm not done.
Oh, you're not done? Wow.
Oh, I'm
go
not
ahead.
done.
Go. Keep going.
I'm not done. So that's first of all. Then you have the Israel, where they announced that people can only use a kosher taxi. What is a kosher taxi? That it has no screen in the back.
I don't get it.
You know, like today, taxis have a screen in the back. It shows you where he's driving and stuff
TV
like that.
and stuff like that.
Right.
Really?
So there they made a new rule. Okay. So now add this rule to the type of glasses. You only allowed to wear one type of glasses.
No.
Yes. And
you have to have the seam in the back of the sock.
Which, by the way,
go ahead,
do you know what that is? The seams. It is actually not okay to wear it, because what was it? Back in the day when they sewed tights, there was no way to do it without a line in the back. They weren't as, they didn't know how to manufacture it. Then this new thing came out that there's no line in the back. They were like, oh, it's a new foreign thing. You got to keep to that one. But the thing is, today's day, the only people who wear lines in the back of their legs are strippers.
Wow.
So it's actually not okay.
Strippers and Hasidic girls.
Yeah, but that's pretty odd. Like, I get you want to stick to your old times, but
so are they all
it's attracting the leg, even though the color is so horrible.
Are you calling Hasidic girl Corvus?
No, I'm just saying.
Said they're like strippers.
I didn't say they're like strippers. I'm saying they're wearing clothing that strippers wear.
Right, that's a Corvus to me.
Didn't let's say we had Christmas trees, right? For Shavuos, we used to decorate trees, but because the non-Jews put on tree and put Christmas lights, we didn't want to be like them, so instead we put on flowers. How is this different? It's not even just the non-Jews that wear seams. It's the I don't want to say low class, but it's the morally, different class.
No, but I'm really not sure, because the reason why we use flowers is supposedly because on the mountain there, the flowers first died, I believe, and then they were
and they didn't have trees.
And I don't think this mountain didn't have trees.
I don't know. I heard originally they did that, but they switched it.
Well, you see, you guys are getting into detail. You know what Neil told me yesterday? He says, let me explain. And this was such a cool thing. He says, listen, he has no problem with the people who went off the ODD, who became not Jewish, or Christians that are not religious anymore. He says that Jesus was a religious guy, and he got sick of all the crap that the Jews pushed on him and the fake stuff. So he decided to break away and say,
by the way, I thought the same thing. Imagine you were considered a bastard child by everyone around you.
Who said he was a bastard child?
Are you talking about Jesus?
I'm talking Jesus. Is Jesus a bastard child?
According to maybe logic
that came
or
out
Jewish.
Hundreds of years later, just to embarrass him. Really, nobody knew what was going on.
No, they say that his mother had a clean conception. Right. What I'm saying is that they can't. Like, let's say we were not going, of course, according to mythology. We're going according to logic.
Bottom
right?
line, Jesus was what? A human being?
The fact is, if he was, like we think, a bastard child, which meant he couldn't marry anyone, he had to only marry another bastard child, which is it's a very complicated thing.
But his wife was Jewish.
He did nothing wrong. Wait,
didn't Jesus get married? I heard he got married. One of the movies.
I don't know.
Sure. I missed the schmore.
No. Okay. Fact is, he did nothing wrong, except it was his mother that did something, according to them was wrong, and he got blamed for it. So his entire life he's an outcast for what? And of course he decides,
that's not what really happened.
That's not what happened?
No, I'm saying that might have happened, but that's not the reason why he had troubles.
That's probably why he decided, I'm going to make my own thing. I don't want to deal with this.
No, he didn't make his religion. His religion was made 200 years after his death.
300.
No, but he did have his own group of bums.
He had followers.
Followers. Okay, followers.
They were Jewish people that were mostly poor and ill. And when they went to Jerusalem and things like that, they had a very hard time with the quote-unquote mafia at that time.
Wait a second.
With the money changing and all of that. That's true. All that is truth. That is truth. 100%.
How could the...
and that's the problem. It seems somehow... people believe that on your own, the African American community has the highest rate of crime on the African
black on black crime.
Right, is
Why?
the highest.
Why?
Why? Because they take advantage of their own people.
Wow.
They feel like they have something. If they would come to us, we would say,
so Jesus was out there to help the people.
That's what we read about.
And did you notice that only
aren't you both talking like heretics, or
I'm sure there's some schmuck out there who thinks we're talking like heretics, and I'm sure they're scratching their beards from all sides. I don't know if that's before they pick their nose or after.
Wow.
But hey, listen. You want to keep blinders on? You want to make believe things didn't happen? Like the guys who say nothing changed in the last 3,000 years in Judaism? What are you, out of your box? There's a whole book now written by Professor Mark Shapiro that gives you many of the changes that were made over the years. Like Jews are always evolving and changing. We're not, and these guys.
What about
now,
Christians? Are Christians also evolving?
I don't know anything about Christians, really. I don't, it's not my religion.
Well, I can tell you for a fact, I was listening to the news today, and they say that the Pope, okay, listen to me, the Pope said that anybody who has an abortion, okay, there's a 1 year
can be forgiven.
Right. I mean, so he changed the rule that you're allowed to have an abortion.
Sure, and with that, he probably hopes to raise a lot of funds.
So he's
let's be honest.
Did you notice how, like, the Jews, Jesus was Jewish, right? 200 years later, when they weren't Jews, then they stopped being persecuted. It's like, oh, you're Jewish, but then if someone else, like as long as you're Jewish, you get persecuted, but as long as they're not involved.
Hitler didn't make a difference. I mean, he killed anyone with any kind of blood.
How could the Crusaders kill Jews when their supposed savior was Jewish? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Right, because they believe we killed him.
But we didn't. The Romans did.
I understand.
They really think that who? Do they have a specific person? Like, who are they saying?
Sure.
They say we ratted him out. Maybe
they have a whole story that Bezdin pushed the Romans to take care of him because he was a troublemaker.
So, I understand. Why don't we just?
But why can't we move on?
Why can't we move on? Why can't we forgive the past and everybody live in harmony and hold hands?
No, because there are people that really. They look in the mirror and they say, for me, this is the world, is for me. And screw everybody else.
I agree. They should have the world for themselves. They should enjoy it.
Okay. So they step on people. They steal from people. Trump, they mislead people. I don't know.
Keep going. I'm telling you, he misleads us. He keeps getting elected 90 times. He doesn't do anything.
No one runs against him.
I know we did try to run against him. And you foolish people voted for him and nothing was accomplished. And taxes, he's like what?
Rather the devil we know than the one.
Then you want right.
Yeah.
Right. But I got to tell you, it's just something.
But you know who bothers me the most? You know who bothers me the most? Before you go ahead, Neil, who bothers me the most is at least Dov Hikind goes on TV and blabbers away stupidity, so we know that Dov is an idiot. We know that straight out. And all you people that vote for him in the next election, you should rot and be retarded because he's an idiot. And I really believe if you ever sit down with Dov Hikind and talk one-on-one, if he came on my show, I wouldn't be like this Fox guy. I would put Dov in his place. And you know what Dov would do? Start screaming. Of course you're a big idiot. You wear that big yarmulke to cover that stupidity that's falling out of your head. But my bothersome is Senator Felder. You don't hear nothing from him. He's a pipsy, quiet guy who does
So when he says something, you got a problem. When he doesn't say something, you got a problem.
But he doesn't say anything.
So no matter what they do, they're wrong.
But say something smart.
No, what could Dov Hikind do?
Give me SD.
Hold on. What could Dov Hikind do for you to like him? What does he need to do?
Hold on. We all scream about Obama. Why? Because Obama has a problem with Iran. Obama has a problem with Obamacare. Obama has a problem with Social Security. Obama at least gets out there and says something. I want to hear what problems we have with Felder. Nothing, because he does nothing. I want to hear what problems we have with Greenfield. Oh, I know. He supported voucher program for kids going to school. Oh, I'm sorry. Never happened. Oh, he supported special buses for the Jewish kids. Oh, I'm sorry. That didn't happen. What else?
That's what Dov Hikind did for college, right?
Right, exactly.
He said, I'm working on it 30 years. And,
30 years he's working on something and he can't find something.
He says, we're almost there. We're almost there.
Maybe it's not in his control.
Right.
Okay, then you
What does Job Hyken need to do for you to be like, oh, he's cool?
You want to hear what he has to do? Yeah. He has to shut down the Shomerim and the Shemira operations. I'll tell you, they're both corrupt organizations.
Very corrupt.
They're corrupt. Shemira and Shomerim.
It's run by kids my age. Believe me, it's not corrupt.
They are corrupt.
By kids
your age.
They're not run by your age. There's a boss. And they want to know, not only they corrupt, Hyken lets them float around.
What's wrong with them?
This is your brainwash.
What's wrong with them?
No, this is your not understanding.
They put their power around. He has these illegal organizations running around, going into the police station.
What about
Hatzalah? That saves a life. Tell me, Shomerim ever save a life?
No, they just kind of are mean to non-Jews.
Shemira, what do? They drive around at night and illegally arrest people because they're black. Yeah.
What?
They've had a couple of illegal
arrests.
Help
people with their cars and stuff.
They don't help. No, that's Chaverim, which is a great operation.
So, by the way,
Chaverim, I was there in the beginning.
Of Borough Park, the lowest sticker for Jews. The Shomerim in Flatbush. I had a story that happened to me.
Before you go ahead, Esty, half of the Shomerim members I know when they were kids were criminals. Like Chaim Deutsch. You think Chaim Deutsch as a kid didn't break into houses on Shabbos and steal stuff?
You don't know that for sure.
I know. Hello, baby. I know that for sure. That's the problem with me and you guys. I know Chaim Deutsch. I know the rest of them. And come on the show and defend yourself. I know when you were a kid, you know good. Yes, he straightened his act out. Now he's our city councilman. What do you mean what matter?
It's for the power. That's the problem.
The point being is there's, if you can be forgiven for all your bad sins, you get to forgive us grown-ups that messed up a little later in life. You guys do not deserve to have Shomerim and Shemira because there's
Listen, power corrupts
everyone.
Right. That's it.
They walk around with their radios and they stand around for the one arrest. Where's my police officer? That 50,000 police officers. They should be doing the job.
You know what?
We have Shomerim.
I was in the precinct and the call came in for something, and the two cops that were standing there said, let the Shomerim take care of it. We'll be there in a few minutes.
Right.
Exactly. Screw them.
So, by the way, I just
but when the Shomerim have a problem and they fight with somebody else, instead of having it worked out, they pick up the phone. The police come running like little girls. Right. And when they see that the Shomerim people are wrong, they call them outside. You're wrong. But, if we were wrong, we'd be arrested and you'd have no problem.
No, so you know what it was?
The arrest would get thrown out at the end and it would just be a pain in the ass.
But the hell that I have to go through is terrible.
Right.
Wait, so hold on.
Listen, I'm telling you the truth. Hey, Daskal over there.
I like Daskal.
No, see, I don't like him. Okay, I know since I'm a teenager.
Yeah.
Okay, and I told you this about a year ago. I called him up and I said, I got to talk to you. He says, well, today I don't have time. So I said, how about tomorrow? He goes, we'll see tomorrow. So that's it. You see what kind of guy
I know. I can get him on the phone.
I understand because he uses you.
No.
Yes. Okay. Right. I think he is really not a nice guy, and I'll tell him to his face, and I don't give a damn. Okay, his power is absolute. Nobody's seen the books of his organization.
Right.
Okay, nobody knows how he got the building he got. Nobody knows anything, the details about anything about him. He's thuggerish. He likes to fight.
All the Shomerim,
right? They like to fight and they like to use their muscle, and they think that's what makes them right.
I got a video.
This is not Williamsburg where you have a modesty police where they can come beat you up and do whatever they want to you. Screw that. This is Brooklyn, New York. You don't like it? Too bad.
Wow. Neely's holding up his finger.
I got to add some things here. Just like all these stupid, what do I want to call it? Well, a chummer in English, a stringency that they put on that you can only wear this glasses, you can only do this, you can only do that. In Israel now, and in Lakewood, New Jersey, the synagogue, you cannot use Nescafe coffee.
Oh my God!
Because they put on a picture of a woman that's totally dressed.
I have the video.
Totally
dressed.
Who
listens to these rules?
Yeah, that's the problem. Nobody thinks for themselves anymore. And let me tell you, everybody out there, you think there's something called Das Torah? You're sick in your heads. Today's day, especially in America, all the communities have their own rabbis. There's no one chief rabbi that's not that controls everything, okay? And the guys who have a couple of $100 million, I don't want to hear from. Okay? Finished.
Wallerstein.
So,
no, I'm talking about like the Boviv, the Monkach, the Spinky, and all of those guys, okay? So they have hundreds of millions of dollars, whether it's in their name, that this guy's name, that name, but that's what they have. And then they try to control their people tighter and tighter and tighter. So no.
Can I say something?
No, not yet. This is not yet. Next. I am pissed like hell at all the Jewish newspapers, and I don't know if Ami is one of them because I don't read Ami.
How about versus nice? You read that all the time.
No, I said newspapers. Okay, I know in the Jewish press and the Yated and Amodia and all these crazy papers. Amodia, I'm not sure. Yated, I stopped reading 3 years ago. But they have all these. Well, the editor there is a real nut job. Yeah, you know, he thinks he's God's gift to the world, and also he talks such crap.
And Yeshiva World, another a Greenfeld-controlled, stupid operation. I mean, Yeshiva World people actually put it on, and they quote me stuff on it. Right. I said, not only are those guys fictional retards, but I believe they all belong in a mental hospital.
Nice is a little better.
Right, versus nice is better, and also there's something of some other Yiddish thing.
But I'm not done yet. 1 minute. Yeah. That these newspapers have the audacity to put in flyers and full-page ads that, oh, if you send us money, we'll pray, we'll have rabbis pray for you 40 days and 40 nights continuously at the hotel.
Unacceptable.
And now there's a new ad out that if you send them $1,800, they will send you a gartel, which is a belt type of item that the Hasidic people put on top of their clothing when they pray. And you send them $1,800, they'll send you a gartel that's the material is made out of the Beketcha of the Baal Shem Tov.
Oh, no.
Now, you listen here.
I'm sending him $1,800.
For sure. For sure. I wouldn't let him use my bathroom 18 times, this idiot. And the people that send money, who are they preying on? On all the people that are in the worst situations they can be in. Those are the people that look at these ads and think, maybe there's hope, maybe there's hope. And you know why the newspapers don't give a crap? Because they're getting paid for the ad.
Wow.
Finished.
You're saying they shouldn't allow it?
That's called being your brother's keeper, allowing totally false advertisements.
So you have to not allow them?
Of course, Rabbi in Israel said, oh, if you give to this charity, it's good. If you ask him about any charity, probably he'll tell you it's good. You know, like what kind of BS is that? And they show pictures of him learning and doing this and all of that crap. No, not okay.
But can I say one thing?
This is the problem over here. This is really the problem.
You're knocking my brothers and sisters.
Yeah, and they're also selling, by the way,
can we do a couple ads?
For the new year, no, give me 3 more minutes. For the new year, they're selling a lucky silver knife. Seems there are people that for the new year, when they bake their challah, chali, or whatever you know it to be, that they put in a knife inside. They bake it with a knife inside, and it's supposed to bring them great things for the new year. So now you have an ad, some schmuck selling, some schmuck buying, unfortunately, this silver knife being advertised in the Jewish papers. That it should do you good. 1 minute. 1 minute. And then this is second to the last item. Let me tell you, rabbis out there, with the beards, with the mikveh, daily use of the mikveh, with all that. You guys who tell people not to vaccinate your children are going to burn in hell like you've never worse than people that actually kill people. Because these diseases, from polio to smallpox to the mumps, have all been eradicated basically in America over the last 50 years, 40 years, whatever it is. And now it's every so often another group in America gets diseases that we have vaccination for, and it's because of a bogus report put out years ago that it's a cause of autism or whatever. Let me tell you, these rabbis are 1,000% wrong, and the proof is in the pudding. How many people do you know that got polio in the last 40 years and were vaccinated? Okay, and now you're going to send kids, certain kids can't get vaccinated. They're not strong enough to hold the vaccine. So you are going to decide not to vaccinate your kid. What about the kid that couldn't get vaccinated? Now he's not protected because your kid could spread it to him.
Wow.
And that is a lot, and there are a lot of rabbis listed. Rabbi Conneticut, Rabbi Solomon from Lakewood.
David Cohen also.
I don't know. I didn't see David Cohen's name.
No.
And a couple other rabbis. I don't remember just right now who they were. But
Belsky?
Conneticut, Solomon, Cutler, Aaron Schechter.
Which Cutler?
I'm not sure.
But from Lakewood Cutler?
Yeah,
I like Aaron Cutler. He was.
I don't believe it's him. It must be
his brother?
One of his relatives.
Okay.
Yeah, because he's a businessman.
Right.
The boy man has tens of millions of dollars stashed away.
And I used to be a roommate with him, sleeping on the bottom bunk.
And just remember this: that all the money they get from the state and all the grants they get is costing the Lakewood taxpayers millions and millions of dollars because their property taxes keep rising. The more the school gets, the higher the property tax goes to pay for it.
Wow.
Okay? So they don't either give a damn about their brothers and sisters, and they're just concerned about making money. It's a money machine.
Right.
I wish I had a business like that. Okay, these guys make millions upon millions of dollars in pure profit.
Wow.
Yeah, Lakewood, a bunch of bench warmers sitting on your tuchus. Most of you guys don't even want to learn, but you're too lazy to go out to work.
Wow.
And that's
Or
what's
you're
wrong
too
with
afraid you won't get a girl or something.
No, and that's what's wrong with you people.
You know,
one more.
My brother lives in Lakewood.
One more.
I always knew he was a brother.
One
No,
more.
I love you, brother.
In Lakewood, they have a rule that until all kids are in a school.
Where?
In Lakewood.
Right.
They have a rule. Until all kids are registered in school, no school is allowed to open.
That's good.
Wonderful. Wonderful. And my question, I heard this year Muncie implemented the same thing, but I don't know that for a fact. Okay?
That's great.
Now, I met a guy last week, a Hasidic guy. Right? It's Hasidic, you know who I met.
Yeah.
And his kid is in Beis Yaakov for a few years already. This year, they told him, we're not taking your kid. Beis Yaakov has new administration.
Right.
Hasidic, became totally Hasidic, whatever. Beis Yaakov used to be the gate where all people merged.
That was why she opened it up, that lady.
Right, right, exactly. And now they're telling this guy that your wife does not dress sneers enough. He's a Hasidic guy.
Right.
And this guy, you know what he told me? He says, now I know why 5 friends of mine just look like they're Hasidic, and they don't keep Shabbos, they don't keep Yontif, they don't keep anything. 5 guys that are really off the derech completely. They put on the mask, they put on the costume, but they're not, because they realize how the schools. When I was a kid, the schools went out on the streets begging kids to come. Today, they're not letting kids in. Okay? Again, it's all power, greed. They're run by private families. There's no community school anymore. And that's what happens. And there are kids that are going to be in big trouble. And it's a cause for suicide also. In fact, just let me finish. In Israel, the Sephardic girls have problems getting into schools. And even though the law is that the schools have to take them, they don't. And just yesterday, a Sephardic, the father of a girl, committed suicide when he was turned down. His kid was thrown out of the school. So please, Spare me all your BS, you religious people, that you think you're religious because you shake up and down during davening or prayer services or whatever it is. Go dunk your head in the mikveh another time, and none of these crimes that you're committing against your fellow Jew are going to be dissolved. You will carry these crimes forever, and because they affect many, many people. And remember, if you believe there's a hell, you would be damn scared to do the shit you're doing.
We're going to talk about other subjects. Everybody call into the show, 718-303-9090. Comment on anything we got. Esty's going to give us some ads. But before we go, you were screaming at the rabbis. There's a guy, David Cohen. He has a synagogue on Coney Island and Avenue L.
I want to say something too whenever you give me the chance.
You're going to go next, Esty. But this guy, David Cohen, he is a guy who's an idiot. He plays both sides. Even a lot of the rabbis in Flatbush and Borough Park hate him. So what happened was I played a little trick. My neighbor had a fight with me when I was building my building, and he called the building department. He ratted on me. His name is Gelbart. I made friends with him, Jack Gelbart. He screwed me, had lawyers. He sued me. The man screwed me big time. Promised to sell me the building, didn't sell it to whatever. Anyways, I'm going to keep going on about it, and I hope I forgive him one day. And he sees me on the street. He makes a comment. I try to be nice, to be civil, because Uncle Heshy's a civil man, and he loves everybody. So anyways, this David Cohen told him that according to Jewish law, you can't rat, but since Heshy Tischler is a bad guy, go to the police. And he even got him to take me to court to get a restraining order. I mean, they almost arrested me.
Did he ever meet you?
So David Cohen did meet me when I helped out his synagogue, but he forgot what I looked like. I was a big 400-pound guy. So I played a little joke with him, and I went into his synagogue, and I gave him a couple of dollars, and I said, and I told him the exact same story as Gelbart, but in reverse. And I told him my neighbor, and I didn't tell him what block. I said, this guy has a building next to me. I smell the gas. I think it's illegal. I don't have anything. And he told me this past couple of days ago, go rat him out and go put him and get him locked up. And I said to him as I'm walking out, do you know that this guy, did you want me to lock up, is Jack Gelbart? He says, what? I said, yeah, I just told you the story. And my name is Tischler. And I said, you took my money, so you were able to rule with me on $200, you pig dog Jew. I called him a picture of his face. David Cohen, everybody should know, stay away from his place. He's an animal, and he...
Why? It's true. There are a lot of true things that David Cohen... I know an attorney that was involved with him, a very big attorney, that said David Cohen is a liar. He lied to him, plain and simple. And I trust this lawyer. Okay? I know him for many years, 20 plus years, and he said David Cohen is a liar.
Right.
And if he told me that, I believe him, because this is a straight as an arrow kind of guy.
Right.
And he's in his 60s. He's a mature man,
right. Zalmi on the show, Z, he has ZFNY. When he means FNY, he means F, David Cohen, NY. Esty, you have something to tell us.
1 minute, Esty, 1 second.
Are we going to do commercials?
No,
I'm not going to get paid.
Literally 20 seconds.
Okay.
Just know Lipa, the singer, who moved out of New Square. And
Lipa, what's it? Schmelzer, yeah, cool dude.
Right? He said, and he brought the proof from it from last week's Torah portion. He says that women should stop shaving their heads.
Oh, yeah.
The Hasidic women shave their heads.
What does your mind do? Cancer, Holocaust, only that.
So, and he says, and the proof is because last week the Torah portion, the Bible portion, spoke about if Jews are in war and they find a woman captive that they like, so there are things you have to do. And one of the things you have to do is shave her head so that she disgusts you, so she doesn't look pretty to you. So he wants to know, why do you think that in today's day you want to have a woman who, it says right in the Bible, Rashi brings it in,
that it's disgusting.
That it's a disgusting thing. Why are you doing it
still today? Hold on, do you know
why they're doing it? Because the rabbis are controlling like puppets.
By the way,
puppet masters.
Do you know why we're supposed to cover our hair? We're supposed to cover our hair because it's a part saved for our husband. No one gets to see it because it's considered beautiful.
Right.
Yes, the times have changed, but if you cut off your hair, you're not saving anything for your husband. You're just denying everything.
Right.
You're supposed to. So my mother said she knew someone who wore one of these great big turban things, a woman, She had gorgeous blonde hair underneath. That was for her husband. She had gorgeous hair that was specifically saved for him. It's not supposed to be taken away from all of it.
That's what most people do who wear a shakel or a hat.
Esty, who's paying for the show?
Yeah, you don't even care what I have to
you
say?
don't even answer nothing that we said. I gave you a list of crap that's going on in the community,
I did.
and you don't give a damn?
I do give a damn.
These people are crying for help. That schools are not letting children in because of one parent called up and said blah blah blah.
I know.
Yeah, I have a friend.
If they had money, nobody would say boo.
You know what, Mr. Neal? So let's go a step further. You ever hear of the great B&H Photo, the great one? So B&H Photo sells items that are crap. I bought stuff from them.
Really?
Yeah, really. I bought
They're very big.
They're very big because they know, you know what? One of their everybody says to me, "Oh, Heshy, you make fun of God. You're not allowed to talk about God." B&H Photo, the big Hasidic community, they had a commercial with God that God himself was recommending people to go to B&H Photo.
No.
I swear to God, you should listen to this commercial.
Adorable.
Right, exactly. So B&H Photo, a bunch of fun. I bought from them some kind of a thing for all my telephones, defective. I tried to return it. Well, sir, you used it over a month. Our return policy, blah, blah.
Okay.
Wait a minute, okay, it's broke on me. I get some, no, you didn't buy the full warranty. And it's not only me. I know a lot of people. You know, B&H Photo deals with a lot of gray and criminal element. Even though their owner is supposedly a holy man, the reason he's praying is because he's hoping not to get caught with all his criminal actions. And I want you to know that.
Are you speaking fact or your opinion?
I'm talking my opinion. Plus, I know fact that one of his operations.
Say thank you, Neil. I just saved you 20 years.
You didn't save me 20, but I know that B&H Photo deals. One of their companies deals with people in Muncie who are bad people, and this is my point to you: that B&H Photo cares nothing about themselves. I know they only hire within themselves and they want to make good, but the point is, it's the bottom line is a buck. So let me tell you, if God hears me, shut down B&H Photo. I'm now making a new policy. I know you guys don't like this. B&H Photo sucks. Why do you have to go to B&H Photo? We have places like Focus.
They say it's better to buy by a Jew.
No, it's not. But it's a Jew. You have Borough Park.
If he gives you the same thing.
Yeah, but he doesn't give you the same deal. Go to Borough Park. Go online. Go to the dealers.
Right. Why people don't buy online?
Why? And why don't you go to Flatbush? There are stores. Borough Park, Williamsburg. Staples. Why are you going to B&H and
they have a larger selection. You can see more.
They don't have it. You go online.
Online you can't see as well.
You can buy everything. Stop it.
Yeah, but you don't see it as well.
And B&H Photo, when you walk in to buy a camera, you're already buying a case, you're buying a handle. So B&H Photo are a bunch of con men. That's all it is. It's just a con
like Crazy Eddie used to be.
Like Crazy Eddie, but it's B&H.
He advertised big TV or whatever. You came in there, he didn't have it, but he had this.
Right.
Something else. So you didn't comparison shop that other item because you didn't know you had it. And that's it. He got you.
But everybody thinks B&H means Baruch Hashem, bless God. No, B&H means blow hole. They're a big
Wait, but what does it really stand for?
I don't care. They're just blow holes.
So I want to go back on a topic.
Don't go to B&H. B&H is stupid, guys.
Yeah,
they don't
just like quality leasing.
Right.
Stupid.
I have a car by there, but I'm not going to do it again.
Of course you're not going to. You only can make a mistake once.
Right.
I made it
once
twice.
It's a joke, then it's a dope, then it's a cancel.
Esty, who is paying for the show?
Actually, I was going to bring up a topic. Okay, fine, not B&H. Okay, fine. Fine, I will tell you your ads if you let me say something about Shumrin, which was 10 topics ago.
You got it.
Okay, fine. So we have Mr. Clean's Dry Cleaning. They do free pickup and delivery. If you mention the Just Enough Heshy Show, you get 25% off. You can go to mrcleandelivers@gmail.com or call him at 347-369-3051. We have the Black Label Electronic Cigarettes. You can go to blpremiumesig.com or call Mikey at 561-239-5941. We have Greenline Building Solutions. They do asbestos and lead inspection, DOB, HPD, code compliance. They lift stop work orders, and they do free consultation. You can reach them at 718-871-0382. This is the Just Enough Heshy Show. We're on Monday and Tuesday from 7 to 9 p.m. Get us on Facebook, like our page, Just Enough Heshy. Twitter, follow us, hashtag Just Enough Heshy. We're live on YouTube. Again, just search Just Enough Heshy, and our email address is justenoughheshy, Heshy spelled Heshy, @gmail.com, and you can call into the show at 718-303-9090. Our last show will be September 8th, and we will resume for season 2 on October 12th.
And is Ralph Romeo on time? Because I don't
know. I don't know if he's on after
But he's a great show anyway. So if he's on, guys, listen to him. He's really wonderful. He's a cool dude.
So yeah.
And by the way, you're not allowed to ride bicycles.
Where?
In Williamsburg.
Never?
No Jewish people.
Why? Stop it.
What do you mean? Women aren't allowed to ride bicycles ever. They don't never allow it.
Women never. And men after you're 12 or something, you know.
You guys, you can't make that up. That's not true.
It is true.
Probably is.
Esty, so you want to talk about
So
Shomrim?
right. So the original purpose of the Shomrim was that when Jews were being treated unfair, we would have our own force and someone to have our back and protect us. That's what I thought it was for, because we don't need more cops. They, to make sure that there's justice involved, which it isn't, because they end up taking the sides of the Jews. And even though like someone non-Jewish will be right, they'll like testify, like they're not really fair.
They'll lie.
Right.
They'll
straight up lie. Right. So this is my problem. I mean, I know that the Borough Park Shomrim, they'll have a Jewish person's back no matter what. The Flapper Shomrim, this is what happened. I went to a house party that this kid invited me to. I didn't know that he broke into his house. He broke out a window and opened the back door. His father's friend comes there and he's like, everyone out, and like they're all, he tells everyone we have to leave. So they leave, and they bring the Shomrim, and there's a whole thing. Anyway, so I left something on the street like before, but there were certain people, they planned to sleep there. They didn't know it would get broken up. So they left their iPods or cell phone, just random stuff in the house, right? So they
were chased out, actually.
Yeah. So we drove back, right? The Shomrim are standing by the door. They're like, we're just going in to get our stuff. They go in, they go around the corner, and there's cops that arrested all of us. So I didn't go into the house, so they let me out right away, like, because I wasn't trespassing.
But you could talk your way out of it anyway. You could.
My father, he helps a lot. So, but the rest of the kids, they got fingerprinted for trespassing in a house that they thought they were going to stay by. They don't know what this kid is doing. And the Shomrim are the one, and I was cursing them out. How can you do this to Jewish kids? Do you want this to happen to your kids? Like, they were not on our side at all. I said some really, like, bad things, like, I wish them bad things on their kids. I hope that their kids have this to deal with this, because the whole point is they're supposed to protect us. What's it gonna solve? What did they really do? They went into a house.
No,
they stole the furniture.
They do a lot.
No,
they have the bike. They put serial
like
numbers on the bikes with David Greenfeld.
And his parents didn't let him in the house. Is that the point?
No, they went upstate, and the house was free. It was empty. He wanted to make a party.
His house?
It was his house.
So what was the problem?
His father's friend came and said, "Oh, your father doesn't know what you're doing," and he called up his parents, and they found out he was.
Oh, so the father was in on it.
I think
to make him trouble.
I think the father's friend was bigger than,
right,
it was making more trouble.
And
then he called the Shomrim, and I was like, how can you do this? Like, your only job is protect Jewish people.
A tattletale is a rat is a rat is a rat.
So, guys, now that we're saying, okay, can we go to
horrible?
My father's like, thank this person because he testified that you wouldn't go into the house so you can get out of prison. I cursed him out. What is wrong with you? You're doing this. Like, I'm so angry. So yeah, I'm not pro Shomrim in Flatbush, at least. I don't know about Borough Park.
Anyways, the stock market dropped almost 500 points, and the reason,
but not Starbucks, because Starbucks is a great investment.
And you know why that happened?
Why?
Because
because of gay marriage.
Gay marriage, right?
What?
Exactly. Very good, deal.
Yeah,
very good.
I picked the right one. I didn't know if it was that or because they drive to shul on Shabbos. I wasn't sure.
No. If you drive to shul on Shabbos, you get cancer.
You got to remember which disease you have. Wait, what sin did I commit? Oh, that one.
Right. So
these people are so crazy.
My point to you is that gay marriage, this girl in Kentucky, a clerk who has to marry people, she decided she's not going to marry people.
Like a court clerk, or
no? Like, I think she is an elected official. They said, or clerk to do this in that town, and also the chief. I don't understand you.
Hey, when she signed up for the job, that wasn't like included.
Right, so she should be.
That's the job.
No, but
she's got to follow law.
No, but
like the judge when he was on.
But she's not being fired. Michael Gerstein,
who's running September 10.
Right.
Go out, you guys, in Crown Heights and in his area. He seems to be a common sense kind of guy.
Very solid.
Yeah, no wishy-washiness from him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Midwood. He's also Midwood. Good. That's very nice. And what else we got going?
Oh, so now that we're off the gay marriage,
saying we should vote for him.
I'm saying you should vote for him.
I want to know, like Rabbi Mizrachi says, we're all gonna burn.
I'm not allowed to talk about Rabbi Mizrachi.
Why? Was it your sons?
My sons told me I'm not allowed to.
Oh my God, your sons are listening to that cult, and they are going to be crazy. He is influencing an entire generation with hate. Do you know how bad that is? The most important thing about Jews is love. Do you know there's no way to say like in Hebrew? There's only ahava, love, because all they want is love your fellow Jew. But let's teach them hate and how to hate people who aren't like us, who don't listen. By the way,
do you ever hear I don't know how long ago, there was a Rabbi Yisroel Salanta.
Okay.
And how long ago was he? 200 years?
Okay.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, he was a very accepted rabbi in the Orthodox and the improvement movement.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And he says that don't worry about somebody else so much. You worry about you and God and take care of those things.
Everyone for themselves and God for us all.
Right, exactly. Very well said. Thank you.
Yiddish phrase.
Well, I believe, my personal opinion, Rabbi Mizrahi is a holy man, and he's found a way for me never to get cancer by...
Cure.
We found a cure that I'm not going to go to mixed dancing. Oh, I forgot.
Mixed weddings altogether.
Mixed weddings.
So you can't come to my wedding.
No.
I don't want you to get cancer, man.
But I'm going to do for your wedding. I'm going to go mixed dancing, and tomorrow
so there'll
night,
be one exception that you don't get cancer if you get a heter.
Hold on. Tomorrow night, my anniversary, I have to go mixed dancing. But other than those 2 days, if I can skirt the cancer thing, I'm good to go.
If you don't get it, after that, you're golden.
Are you allowed to drink and get drunk?
I don't know. Maybe that's like diabetes. I don't know.
I think
he does, because half his followers are drunk that are listening to him.
Yeah, I think he's on something.
He's on something. Okay, listen, now we're going to have
bitterness and angriness that comes out of his mouth.
This show
is pretty heavy.
Right. We didn't take any.
If anybody has anything to say about what I said, you know what? Speak up or forever hold your
I
tongue.
didn't want to take calls because you were ranting. We're going to take another caller.
718-303-90.
Let's take a caller.
303-9090.
Let's go. Oh my gosh, we have to take Norman also. Hello, you're on the air with Heshy and Esther and Neil. How are you?
Hello, how is everybody?
Oh, Heshy, I love you, Heshy. You are my favorite caller. Do you know why? Woman, Heshy, do you know why?
I met you in Puerto Rico.
You met me in Puerto Rico, and I happen to like you as a person, even though you're a little bit nuts. But I want you to know, Heshy, I want you to know, I do not believe in gay marriage, and I do not believe in abortion.
Wait
a minute. But after yesterday, what you said, I want you to know. Do you know that I signed up to be a minister, and I got my email certificate, my online certificate to perform marriages? Yeah, you can be too. Yay. I promise you, Heshy, because of you, I am now going to charge. I'm going to charge a fee of $25 to anybody who's gay who wants to get married. Come to your Uncle Heshy. I will legally, by the state of New York and the ministry of I think it's the Church of Faith of Moses Followers, it's some kind of organization. It cost me $99. I am going to marry any gay person that wants to, Heshy, only because of you.
I love you.
Okay, 2 points. First of all, I would like to invite you at our next rally. I don't know if you know that we hire Mexicans to protest at the gay parade.
Is that legal?
We dressed them up as Hasidim. That's right. It's 100% legal.
How do you make a Mexican look Hasidish?
we gave them sisters. We gave them the Nana Yarmulkes with the payers.
You're telling me, Heshy, you're telling me somebody that believes that God, that he's sick. You're saying he's sick. He has no choice but to be gay.
Can I be paid to do that?
You're telling me that what should he do? He has these urges. What should he do?
Okay, let me
to the world.
Wait, do you believe that somebody has an urge to marry his sister? Should he marry his sister? Yes or no?
I'll be honest with you. It's not healthy.
Why?
Why not?
But gay is healthy. Gay is not dangerous today.
Why is the brother and sister not healthy? Why?
Well, I'll be honest.
If they'll have children.
The children might come out funny.
But let's say they're 50, 60 years old. They're not going to have children anymore.
You know what?
You know what?
They're 60 years old.
You know what?
If they want to,
so get married.
But why? But I'm going to ask you, why should they get married? Why can't they just live as companions? Since they're 50, 60, there's no reason for them to get married. They should just live as companions.
They want to keep the money in the family.
I agree with you. They should live together.
They want to go to Minister Heshy and get a license.
You see, that's why the government is.
Do it in a minute.
By the way, that's why it's stupid. Any two, gay marriage or not, should have nothing to do with the government. Any two people that want to be, maybe get a tax break or have, when you're in the hospital, the first people to call. Any two people should be able to sign a contract. Me and my best friend, we can both have boyfriends. If we want to sign it together, it should be
what can a man marry his mother?
Heshy, woman, Heshy.
No, not married. It's a certificate of being together for the next 5 years. It doesn't have to be marriage. Is a religious thing. What is it doing in the government?
And Heshy, I know you from a long time ago, and I want to ask you a question, Heshy. You and I have friends in our community that are gay. I don't hear you say it. Don't tell me no. You're not their friends anymore. I know you know a lot of people. I know a lot of people that grew up with you and me that are gay. Wait a minute. And I know a lot of people that you and I grew up with that had abortions, and a lot of people that you and I that grew up with that had children out of wedlock. And I'm not finished with you yet, Heshy. I know a lot of people that you and I that grew up with that not only are not religious anymore. Sure, you shun them because you're better than us, Heshy. But what is wrong with abortion? What is wrong with it that he doesn't want a child? What is wrong, Heshy? You're not friends with anybody that gay. I promise you that I'll tell you somebody that's gay and who's your buddy who does business with you. No way. I promise you that I will show you somebody that does business with you that's gay. What are you going to do about it?
It's impossible.
It's impossible.
So you don't do business with gay people?
Okay.
I don't know any.
How big is his head up his ass?
No, wait. He would do business with gay people.
A gay person comes over and says, "I'll sell you my house, $1 million house for $12. Would you buy it?"
Of course.
Would I buy it? I would give it to the moral majority.
But he's gay. You're not supposed to do business with him.
What? Who said that?
Heshy, do you like...
If someone's a thief, are you not supposed to do business with him?
Heshy, how many... Heshy, your buddy... What's that guy from Goldheart? What's his name again? Leon Goldenberg. Now, this guy, he's a good man. You like him. I remember when he was younger, he made a big robbery in his store. Yeah. Please don't tell me. Everybody knows it.
But I don't know.
Who robbed the place?
Who robbed the place?
They caught the guy.
They caught the guy?
5-6 years later. It was the guys who installed the phone system.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, wow. I thought it was him.
No. Listen.
He's a cook.
Let me tell you something. I don't always get along with him.
Right.
But I got to tell you, the man is really a good man.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought
and I'm telling you, I don't get along with him in certain
I
things.
thought he's not too bright. I spoke to him. He's an ignorant guy.
No. He's a fabulous man.
I don't like him.
And I have nothing to do with him today.
Okay.
I don't see him.
Heshy, woman, I want to ask you a question, Heshy. Do you like black people?
Do I like black people? Yeah. What do you mean I like them?
I mean, aren't they all bad?
What?
I don't know. According to Heshy, all gays are bad.
I like arson.
Wait, one second.
Aren't all black people in jail, Heshy?
I had a black.
You know one black guy. Oh, that's so good of you, Heshy.
No, I know.
You know the black guy, everybody. Wow, Heshy.
Wait a second. Yeah. You can't compare gays to blacks.
Why not? They're a minority.
I created blacks.
Hold on. Let me say something on this topic, okay? As Jews, this is our standpoint. As Jews.
The Torah.
Right. It doesn't say, don't have. Hold on. Right. It doesn't say don't have anything to do with gays. We consider being gay a sin. So they don't consider it. That's fine. We're not gonna not do business with someone because they say lashon hara or I'm trying to think of other sins.
They're gay.
We do not do business because of sins of other people. So whether they think it's a sin or not, when somebody sins, we don't exclude them.
We're not allowed to judge us.
Hold on.
Exactly.
You guys are women. Heshy wants all gay people dead. Is that correct, Heshy?
Could you not say statements like that when
he does? He does. Heshy, am I right?
We want them to either do tshuva or they deserve to get AIDS. One of the two.
Well, I think you should do tshuva or deserve to get AIDS. How is that different?
Heshy, woman, I do have one more question.
No.
Okay, go ahead, Heshy. Go ahead.
So if you don't do tshuva, maybe you should get AIDS. How is that different than what you're saying about them?
Because the Torah says it. You ever listen to Rabbi Victor Miller?
Oh, please.
Okay, let's say. Right, what does he say?
He was the greatest rabbi in New York.
And he said
that
this.
That doesn't mean everything he said was true.
And he said hate on gays.
His book on the Holocaust should be burnt.
Right.
Okay?
Wait, let's not get off topic.
His book on the Holocaust.
What does he say? What does he say?
And it's a Chilul Hashem.
He says it's
bad.
He
says that we have to hate evil. King David said,
it's okay.
Those who love King David.
Get together with Rabbi Levin over there, and why don't you drink some schnapps with him, and you'll talk about the gays and all of that. the skirt's too short, and this is no good. That's no good.
By the way, Heshy,
and checking every woman on the block to see if they meet criteria.
Heshy, we're coming to the end of the show, but I want to ask you a question, Heshy.
Sure.
Besides that, you know that in your Torah, not mine, there was a guy by the name of Noach, right? He was on a boat or something. So his son had sexual relations with him. That's what, according to the book. So he was punished. What was his punishment? That all his children should be black, according to your book. Is that correct?
No, that's not correct.
Oh, please fill me in, because I was taught differently.
No, what happened was because he had relations with his wife. Nothing want to know. They want to come. That's why his grandchildren were stricken with their colored skin.
Stricken. So black is a stricken disease.
It doesn't mean that they can't become Jewish. We have black Jews. There is a tremendous the trend.
You gotta call us back. You gotta call us back.
You gotta call us back because I love you, Heshy. You're a wonderful caller. Thank you for your call, Heshy.
Well, one day you have me on as a guest.
You are next week, Heshy. I want you on the show so I can fight with you.
I'm going to Israel. I'm going to be in Israel this week.
Well, enjoy it. Enjoy it. And send over hiking the gods because I know you like that wacko. Bye, Heshy. Anyways, everybody, thank you for listening to the show. My goodbyes, takers. We live in a wonderful world that is full of beauty, charm, and adventure. There's no end to the adventure that we can have if only we seek them with our eyes open. Come back next week.
What's the best profit?
A non-for-profit.